Xbox Live Arcade. To be honest, I never really thought this little service could be so successful and be a place where I would actually buy a decent amount of games from compared to retail stores. I first discovered Xbox Live Arcade by just randomly surfing through the Xbox 360 dashboard, and then I discovered it. I believe my very first game I bought from XBLA was Doom, and later on I would learn more about upcoming XBLA games like Duke Nukem 3D and Doom 2. Obviously, because I'm a fan of those games, I would end up buying them. Right near the beginning of the birth of Xbox One, there has been so many titles on the Xbox Live Arcade service, and I think that's just a statement of how successful it is. I decided to research more about Xbox Live Arcade once I was really fascinated about the service, and it's pretty interesting. Apparently, it existed back in the original Xbox days, but since the original Xbox was so short-lived, it really never reached its fullest potential like the 360 did. XBLA is pretty much dead on the Xbox One, but it's still alive in a way because of games like Ori and the Blind Forest exists, which is pretty much like an arcade game in its presentation. However, I haven't really noticed much about ports. Sure, you got the rare replay, but I think it's more like a compilation type of game rather than like a legitimate port to Xbox Live Arcade, like Earthworm Jim HD or Duke Nukem 3D. I'm still waiting for an original Quake port to Xbox Live or Quake 2 because I really think it could do a better job than what they did with the Quake 4 bonus disc, but I highly doubt that will happen. But an original Quake port could happen in my eyes if id Software want to come back to Xbox Live Arcade and release more Quake titles. I actually found out the developers behind this Marathon 2 port wanted to port Infinity, which is the expansion pack, to this game. Apparently they weren't allowed to do it, but they did release multiplayer maps from Marathon 1 and Infinity as DLCs, which is kind of weird and random, of course. But I wouldn't mind a Marathon Infinity port to XBLA if Bungie ever feels like it's the right time, because I'm sure Bungie is still in control of the Marathon IP, but I don't know if it will happen since it's freeware, but I totally would buy it for $10 if it's ported well and maybe have some additional content added to. I actually remember back when Doom was released on XBLA, there were rumors going on that the next Doom game was Final Doom. Obviously that didn't happen, and Doom 2 was released instead, but I really don't know if id will ever release Final Doom or the Master Levels, because I remember the PS3 guys got a bundle of that content out of the blue. Same thing with Duke Nukem 3D Megaton Edition, which was ported to PS3 also. I don't know what's going to happen in the future of arcade games for Xbox, but I think it'll be nice if Microsoft can put more focus on them, whether it's a new IP or a port of a classic game that you're only getting it on Xbox or something like that. I really do love a lot of the games that are available on the XBLA service, because as a 90s PC gamer, there's a lot of games that pleases that side of me when I was surfing through the library to see what game existed and all that jazz. It's always cool to play your favorite 360 game, and if you're bored of that, you can, go back and play that classic game you loved back in your younger years, and you can just do it on the go on your 360, which is nice and convenient. Hopefully there will be more of that or something that'll interest me at the end of the day. Thank you for watching the video, guys, and stay tuned for more.